welcome back. Okay, so for today's tutorial, as you've seen in the title, it's chocolate pavlova with coffee mascarpone cream and hazelnut. So it's a common combination, but I'm trying to do it in a different way. Okay, also to my new subscribers, to the people who have watched my previous video, thank you so much. I appreciate the views, the likes and the subscribes. You know, it's a small number, but we're starting somewhere. Okay, I'm truly humbled by the support. You guys have shared my Pandan Gula Melaka video. For now, I'm going to go to get some ingredients. Untuk orang-orang Johor Bahru, kalau you nak tahu mana nak beli bahan-bahan yang berkualiti, yang harga berpatutan, I'm going to show you where you can get those in Johor Bahru. Okay, so stay tuned. Bye Grab. I'm here at the ingredients. Okay, this is in Perling. Okay, Taman. So here we are, ingredients. So kat luar you dah nampak macam-macam balang biskut. Okay, so you can get all of your supplies here. Alright, and let's go inside. This is the best part, okay? Orang yang tahu benda baik, they know what I'm talking about. So you've got Valrhona stock here. You have Calibo, you have cocoa berry, so all the good stuff, okay? You guys don't have to worry, you don't have to go to KL or just Singapore to buy them. You can get them in Johor as well, okay? So siapa yang tak nak pack besar, they pack it for you in smaller quantity. Okay, so you tak payahlah beli 3 kilos tu. Okay, dia ada yang kecil punya. This is 60%, this is 100%, so it's really intense, okay? Sangat gelap. This is my choice for anything that uses cocoa powder. It's very intense, you tak payah pakai banyak pun. So this bottle will go a very long way for me. Okay, so we're gonna get this. Tentang prima flour di Johor Bahru di Malaysia ada di sini. Okay, got the bread flour, top flour, super light flour. Okay. And a whole other array of ingredients. This is interesting sebab dia ada the chocolate punya decoration. Okay, that you just fill it up with chocolate. You boleh guna compound and you get macam-macam design. So untuk kakak-kakak yang buat business sendiri daripada rumah, all kinds of packaging here. So they have all the pouches, the plastic bags, okay, for kids goodie bags, couple for weddings, okay. They've got jars. They sell jars here as well. So for hantaran. Okay. All the packaging stuff. They have the decorating stuff. All sorts of chocolate rice. Okay, cotton candy sugar. They've got the Star brand, and then they have imported essences. So siapa yang buat cupcake, you boleh rambang mata dekat sini. A big selection of all the cupcake punya cups. And then you have boxes. Oh man, this is so cute. Look, kan comel. So they have also gold label buttercream, the chocolate flavored ones, grated cheese. Okay, semua ada kat sini. It's a one-stop shop. Right? So my shopping is done. I got my stuff. Okay, dekat sini kalau member dapat diskaun berapa?
Ada yang 10%, ada yang 15%.
Okay, so you do get discount if you're a member, okay? So you can follow them on Instagram, the ingredients. Today we're not only going to master the basics of pavlova, but also how to flavor the pavlova so that it doesn't affect the end product. First up, I have castor sugar, egg whites, corn flour, Valrhona Cocoa Powder, vanilla essence, as well as vinegar. Now, my standing mixer with the whisk attachment. So we're going to whisk up the eggs and the castor sugar. Very important to make sure that there is no trace of egg yolk at all in the whites, so that when we beat up the egg whites, it can rise fully without the presence of any type of fat or oils or egg yolk to hinder it from rising fully. Okay, so this goes into a clean bowl, no traces of butter, no traces of oil. Okay, into a clean bowl. So the egg white goes in first. Now it's important to note that we're not putting in the egg whites and the sugar together at the same time. Why? We're going to beat up a bit of the egg whites first until it's slightly more stable before we introduce the addition of sugar bit by bit. This is to ensure we have a very stable meringue and the sugar is well incorporated to form a very stable structure. Okay, so a medium speed first, and then I'll go in with the sugar bit by bit. To explain to you what stiff peaks mean, now it's actually holding its shape but it's still dropping, means it's not holding the peaks properly yet. So we still need to carry on beating for a bit more before it becomes stiff peak. Running for a few more minutes and you can see now that it's stiff, it is holding its shape. The meringue is nice and glossy, so we're going to add in the other ingredients now by hand. So first things first, we're going to add in the powders. Whatever powders you're adding to the pavlova has to be sifted, okay? So in this case, to flavor it, to make it a chocolate pavlova, I'm actually using cocoa powder. Now cocoa powder is it's a solid, so it's not oil based. You know, it's not going to break down the meringue too much if we add this into the mixture, alright? So I'm going to add cocoa powder. I'm going to sprinkle it around so that it's easier for me to incorporate later. And the corn flour. Corn flour has also been sifted to prevent lumps. Very important. Okay. I'm going to add some vanilla to get rid of the eggy smell and taste. And also white vinegar. White vinegar goes into the mixture as well. So we're going to use a spatula to mix it well. Now why do we not add the ingredients one by one and add everything at one shot? Simply because if we were to add one by one and mix it, you're going to keep breaking down the meringue. Now once we add everything, we can actually just mix it once and mix it well and prevent the meringue from breaking more than it should. Right, so I'm just going to go in and under to make sure that it's incorporated nicely. So not forgetting to preheat the oven, top and bottom heat 120 degrees. The mixture is nice and even, and now we're going to move on to bake it on a baking tray lined with a silicone mat. You could also use parchment paper and a silicone paper. You could actually draw the size that you want of the pavlova. Today I'm using the silicone mat meant for macarons, so basically it's just a printed one. You know, it works the same like a regular silicone mat, and I'm going to use a ring just to make sure that I have it in a perfect circle and it's not messy. If you have a cake ring lying around, you could use the cake ring on your silicone paper as well to maintain the shape of your pavlova. So I'm going to add the mixture into the ring. Just make sure there's no lumps. It goes in. Now you could split the mixture into two if you want two thin disc and like stack or layer it like a cake. It's completely up to you. But I'm going to do one nice and thick chocolate pavlova for this recipe. Okay, so just going to push it out a bit. Nice even circle. Then I'm going to carefully remove the ring. Okay, it's going to go down the sides a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so you have it nice and clean. So I'm going to clean the balance from the ring. Just chop it off at the sides carefully. At this stage, I'm going to use a spatula to actually create an indentation in the middle, and that's where our filling is going to go. Alright, so I'm going to smooth it out a bit first. Okay. And then I'm going to create an indentation. Right. Just push the middle part to the side a little bit. Now you can see that it's actually very firm and very steady, which means that our meringue was beaten properly and it's very stable, so it's not too runny. Okay. So just a small indentation in the middle so that it's easier for us to spread the filling later on. Okay, just like a well. And bake for about, I think, 1.5 to 2 hours. Now, The goal when you're baking pavlova is for the outside to be nice and crisp without it changing too much color, and for the inside to remain soft and marshmallow-like. So into the oven, preheated to 120. So we're gonna leave it, I'm gonna put the timer for 1 hour first, and I'm gonna come back to check on it. Waiting for the pavlova to bake, I'm gonna start on the filling, and right here I have some mascarpone. Okay, so I'm going to soften the mascarpone cheese a little bit so it's easier for me to combine with the whipping cream later on. We're gonna stir this until it's nice and smooth. Okay. In this mixing bowl, I have some dairy whipping cream, and to this, I'm going to add some instant coffee powder. Alright, so I'm going to add this in. Now it's going to dissolve, and we're going to have a coffee whipping cream. So I'm going to use the whisk attachment on the mixer and whip this up until it becomes a nice firm cream. The coffee whipping cream has been whipped to stiff peaks. You can see that the coffee has dissolved. Okay, and I'm going to add that to the mascarpone mixture and set aside until the pavlova is cool and ready to serve. One hour is up of baking time, and I will test it by lightly tapping it on the surface. So when you hear a hollow sound, it's ready. So before we serve, what we're going to do is we're going to store it in the oven with the heat switched off and left to cool down. Right? This prevents it from being too humid and losing its crispiness. So we're going to store it in the oven. Finally, we have the topping. So we're going to have caramelized hazelnuts. So we start off with chopped hazelnuts, skinless. Okay. Some brown sugar and white sugar to caramelize it, and a little bit of sea salt for flavor. On tray to allow it to cool.